Hey Dinks, welcome back to another exciting interview here at the Chicago Midwinter meeting. I have Jason Gamble here with me today with US Bank.
Yes.
And we are really excited to have you guys back, second year,
Yep.
talking all things dentistry and money, which is a hot topic for most dentists anyway.
You need it.
All right, tell our audience a little bit about who you are, your background, what got you to this place at this time.
So I've started in the dental field about 26 years ago on the lending side. A while ago, so I go back with a group of people that have paved the way in this space. I brokered independently a little bit as well for about 10 years. Was recruited to go to the buy side for a DSO, so I was actually buying practices, went back to the sell side with a company, managed some outside reps in the transition space, and then back to the lending space. So I'm a numbered guy. I love financials. I love this space, and it's kind of where I want to end my career.
Don't you think, though, all that experience has really created a very well-rounded perspective for you? Because you've seen both sides, all sides, really,
yes,
of how the market looks. And
I've seen a lot of successes. I've seen a lot of mistakes, and I think that absolutely has taught me a ton.
So what does US Bank do for dentists? How are they working with dentists' dental practices and providing leverage, I would assume, and opportunity?
Opportunity, I mean, we'll do acquisition financing, startup financing, and we're really looking to develop in the multi-practice space as well. So it's not just equipment financing, but we want to create a total package. We want to do everything, not just the loans. We want to service the client with their credit cards, with their credit card processing, with even all the way to the wealth management piece.
Interesting.
When they get later in their career.
Yeah. So let's talk about the startup side. Is that okay? We talk about that. So I think most people are familiar with the Bank of America program. That probably is one of the first big industry leaders when it came to startup financing. Was one I used 15 years ago. Where do you guys fit in that space? Maybe what are some of the things you're offering that might be unique? The relationship side, all of that.
I mean, we're absolutely playing in that space. There's a lot of companies that do it well. The one piece that we're looking to add is what I just mentioned before, the other components. We want to be able to provide a total lending solution to where not only you're getting your loan, but you're also getting everything else, and you actually have a person that handles the relationship, not just a 1-800 number.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like you want to have that partner because that's a really, especially for newer docs or newer practice owners, everything's a learning curve. 100%. So having somebody like you kind of in your corner to say, I've seen it, I know how this plays out, let's talk it through, let's figure out a plan B. I think those are really important people to have in your Rolodex, if you will. If people even know what a Rolodex is anymore, is that like an archaic term?
Unfortunately, I do.
I mean, let me roll one out here. Anyway, okay, so in the space of banking, can anybody be a part of US Bank? Can they, geographically, is there a restriction?
No restrictions geographically. I mean, we're covered all 50 states. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking to partner with as many medical professionals, dentists, as we can.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. It's okay, we can edit it out if you don't like it. Do you have some top mistakes that you've seen on the financial side that you think dentists could really learn from what you've seen instead of repeating
I like this question.
Okay, good.
And, yes, I think the biggest mistake that I've seen, especially focusing on the multi-practice space, if you have an aspiration of owning more than one location, plan early, build your team. And when I mean team, dental CPA, dental attorney, obviously a dental lender. Just build that team around because they're so well connected. If you need a referral for construction or to add an operatory, you have a team that can lead you in the right direction. So the biggest mistake I see is just not building that team in the beginning and just building a network of people around you to help you out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's interesting that you're bringing up this multi-site thing because we had a guest on the other day that was talking about that. They have a company that is trying to give an alternative for a DSOs, right? That if I'm a doctor and I want to keep building multiple practices, capital's hard to come by at some point. You sort of max out. Is that right with the smaller lenders?
Yes, max out, or I guess lenders just kind of get a little
nervous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because when those numbers start to increase, there's more eyes on them. So we absolutely also want to kind of play in that space to build a product, a conventional product for clients to build or scale the business with us. We want to know that from the beginning, so that's a key point.
Interesting.
Too.
Okay.
So if you come to us, don't be afraid to say, I want to own 5 in the next 5 years. Great. Let's figure out a way to do it. Where some clients run into problems with financing is they don't plan, they don't talk to their lender and let them know what their plans are. That way it's not a surprise.
Right.
So I would love to be proactive, saying, hey, are you ready? What are you thinking about number 2? Are you thinking about number 3? It looks good. I mean, I think the runway's there. When you're ready, let's talk and just make sure you're prepared.
And you probably have benchmarks that would really help them out to understand, like, what are the tipping points to say, okay, yeah, you're ready.
Right, and I think those need to be communicated with with your lender, whoever it may be. And if they're not asking those questions, do you want to scale? What do you want to do? When are you thinking of retiring? If they're not asking those questions, that's probably not a good lending partner.
I couldn't agree more. I think what I like about that is that the banks are starting to at least work with the doctors to give them an alternative to selling to PE.
Yes.
And it's not that that's good or bad. It's just was kind of the only option. If you hit a certain point in your growth, you couldn't get anybody else to invest because you were so leveraged on all, the whole house of cards thing.
100%.
But when you have a partner that are starting to open up to those concepts, that it's a good business model or business person that you want to invest in. Right.
Yeah. I mean, PE's probably going to not like this comment, but I want to provide an alternative. There's some that do it great, but why give up some ownership if there's an opportunity to do it conventionally yourself, build it, and then if you want to transition. So, I mean, the private equity space is changing a little bit, so we want to evolve around that too and give this as a realistic lending option for somebody that wants to scale.
Yeah, I'm glad that's sort of where the market is going because you're right, the PE landscape is changing and what everybody thought was going to happen in 22 is definitely slowing down a little bit, don't you think? Like the transactions and the...
And I think a lot of the private equity and some of the larger DSOs, they're understanding the game a little bit more. They're going to want a longer commitment during a transition. So why give 5 years to somebody else when you can do it yourself? I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I think, at least I'm in North Carolina and the DSO activity was really heavy around 22, 20 to 22. And then it just seemed like the market kind of dried up. Money was a little bit harder to come by. And so you just started seeing a lot of them realize that they were going to have to hold on to these assets longer than they had originally anticipated, which creates financial kind of turmoil internally. And I don't think that's unique to one specific one. I think many of them, I mean, we've seen several going bankrupt or, basically pulling out of those or shutting them down.
Yeah, we're hearing the stories. And it's unfortunate, but it also, there's an opportunity elsewhere that is being created by that. I think some of those larger DSOs are losing good doctor leaders as they retire, and it's tough to operationally manage a company of that size.
Absolutely. Do you think, you probably have a pretty good perspective on the financials of a practice. You probably are seeing that a lot. Tell me some of the pain points that you're currently seeing or like creative solutions or whatever, because I would imagine P&Ls today look a little more constrained than they did pre-COVID, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's different things affecting the bottom line. Hopefully this is going in a direction that you're hoping it was. I'm going to give a little tip, and if you're looking to scale and you want to own multiple practices, somebody offers you a 15-year term, but you can afford a 7 or a 10, take the 7 or 10. Okay. Don't over leverage, just pay down those loans, and then that's going to free up equity to do more.
That's right.
It's one of those things. If you can afford to do it and afford to pay it down a little quicker, in the long run, you're going to be a lot better off.
Those doctors usually start transitioning some out of clinic too, don't they? If they own multiple locations.
Yeah, you're going to have to at some point.
Or have somebody running all of them.
Yeah, you're going to have to somebody that you really trust to help scale with you. So.
How do you participate or partner with those doctors if and when they're ready to sell? Are you also involved in that process, or it's just a closing out of the lending and?
Yes, well, I mean, we'll be involved to a point.
Yeah.
We'd like to know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can help. And that's another key thing is if you have everything in one place, your exit's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Versus if you have 5 locations with 5 different lenders or equity partners, and you're trying to unwind all that at the end, rather than unwinding with just one lending solution.
Yeah.
It's going to make your life a lot easier.
I can't emphasize that enough. Like having a relationship with a bank or a lender that you can send an email to and say, hey,
yes,
I need to do this, or can you help me with this, or whatever. I don't have to go to a bank. I don't have to take time out of my practice to go manage all that. And if you have a really good relationship, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make that almost as painless as possible within regulatory compliance and all of that. But they want to work with you as much as you want that like simplicity in a relationship.
Yeah, we want open conversation.
Yeah.
We want to know your plans. We want to know what's down the road, or what do you think it looks like. We want to know that. Don't be afraid to talk to lenders.
Yeah.
We want to know their plans.
I think that's a big takeaway.
Yeah.
All right, any other last words for our audience or for future customers who might be sitting out there watching right now?
How
do they get in touch with you guys? What's the best process?
With us or me personally?
You, or if, like, let's say somebody's watching and they're ready to start. They're like, yep, it's time.
I love
and I'm shopping lenders.
I will talk to anybody.
Okay.
I'll talk. I mean, if anybody wants to talk about scaling, or just bounce some ideas, I'll be more than happy.
We'll put your contact information at the bottom of the video, and then they'll be able to reach out to you. Because I think people need to shop this, right?
Yeah.
They need to talk to several people and find the right fit for them
100%.
Personally, professionally, and financially.
Absolutely. I mean, we want the right fit too. I mean, we want to partner with people that we want to grow with. So if we say yes, we will commit to growing, assuming things are going well. But we won't say yes to one deal knowing that we probably won't do 2 or 3. We want to partner together. If we're willing to scale, we'll scale.
Yeah, that's really. And one last thing, I don't think we talked a ton about the wealth management side. What does that look like for your relationship with your customers?
Obviously, the sooner you start, the better.
Yep.
And if you can build that and not have to rely on the sale of the business for complete retirement, if you can build that along the way, incorporate it, talk about it in year 1, year 2 of your career. I mean, I wish I
right?
did a little bit sooner, not going to lie.
Yeah, fair. I think we all probably felt that way.
I think that's important because then you have options at the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may not have options. You may have to sign a 5-year employment contract with somebody that when you're transitioning out and you want to be done. So starting it early.
I agree. And I think you need someone who's watching all of that for you to make sure that you're staying in a comfortable position, because at the end of the day, that gives you choices.
Yes.
And disabilities happen and things happen. So you want to be always working towards a position that gives you freedom to choose what your next path is. Grow if you want, retire if you want, quit if you want, whatever, and go work for a dental sales company. I don't know. But you need to have those choices, right?
100%.
Well, thank you for spending time with us
Thanks
today. Are you having a good meeting so far?
I am.
Yeah?
I'm not happy that it's snowing outside right now.
I'm sorry, what?
It's I just got a notification.
I had no idea. All right, you heard it here first. Now we're the Weather Channel.
Yes.
Is Jim Cantori out there? We'll go check him out. Thank you for coming in. Enjoy the rest of the meeting. We really appreciate you guys partnering with us and getting some good content out to our viewers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.